Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wayne. All right, we'll take all those cards that flew out. All right, what's hidden? Welcome to my channel. Glad that you're here. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Outcome and advice. Thank you. All right. In the overall energy, we have the Six of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse, the Six of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Some type of wounding, childhood wounding that has kept you sad, depressed, out of alignment with who you are and the blessings that are for you. Six of Wands feels like a glow up, a public success. Once you start loving yourself, staying in that flow state. Wow, giving from the overflow from your cup. All right, let's take a look. What's the Six of Cups in reverse? Childhood wounding. Five of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Page of Wands reversed. Oh, Hanged Man's also reversed. There's some type of abandonment. It feels like you felt you were abandoned as a child, left out. It feels like you would see things differently, see things a different perspective than your family of origin. And it feels like there's this you not fitting in, and a lot of immature, maybe your parents, the whole place. It feels like there's a lot of hot-headedness, a lot of immature people, quick to anger, reactivity. Doesn't feel like a very safe environment. And definitely not for you, because there's something about how you see things from a different perspective than the people around you. And it feels like you were punished, yelled at, a lot of reactivity, trying to get you, viewer, to fit in instead of seeing things from a different vantage point, a point of view. It feels like your willingness as a child to see things as they are, the reality, did not, it's like you could see through an illusion, a fantasy of projections. And that's not welcome in this type of environment at all. Because they don't want, they don't want to mature. They want to keep the status quo, keep things as they are. It looks like this caused a lot. The way you were raised, that feels like a brief description. Feels like there's a lot there. And that's why it impacted your ability to find happiness, to feel happy, to feel cared for. Feels like you were trained out of alignment with who you are and trained into some type of fitting into the family structure and dynamics, which is wildly immature and kind of stuck in immaturity. And then it feels like you're being neglected. This feels like a lot of neglect, a lack of care for you as a child. Ooh, and made it difficult to care for yourself, and creates this disharmony within yourself, feeling like there's something wrong with you. What's wild is it feels like you're trying to figure you out. You've been blamed, shamed maybe, that something's wrong with you, that you don't fit in. And so it's creating this maybe chronic unhappiness, maybe depression, a sadness within you because of this story that something's wrong with you. And everyone's projecting onto it. And it feels like then they're even blaming your maybe mental or emotional health, that they created the lack of stability for your emotional and mental health. But it feels like they're even weaponizing that, weaponizing your sadness and your lack of mental and emotional well-being as something affirming that you are defective, instead of realizing that it comes from how you were raised. This unhappiness, it feels like it's weaponized. Your own unhappiness is weaponized against you, is what I'm getting. See, this justifies our behavior of the viewer. They're messed up. They're, they have issues. But there's no, I feel it's you can't win. The cards the cards are stacked against you as a child in this family. All right. Yeah, it looks like you break from tradition. You're not interested at some point. I think you don't want to fight. I think you just want to be cared for. You want to belong, but you don't fit in. And it looks like you lack the ability to fit in, which is fantastic. That means you love yourself. On some level, you recognize that who you are is not a problem. But in this environment, it is. It looks like people manifest against you purposefully, set you up for failure, humiliation, chronically. This is a very immature way of relating. It feels like you're ganged up against. What's interesting is the Emperor coming out of this energy. It feels like you are a leader. At the heart of this, you know how to lead yourself. There's a preparedness that you have growing up in this type of environment. It feels like some PTSD. The Emperor here has this armor. He's sitting, but he's always ready. And it feels like, yes, you are, by growing up in this type of environment, you are a leader. You know how to lead, but it feels like you've got a lot of armor. You might physically have like a very stiff muscles too, like your tension is your armor because of chronic abandonment and lack of care, which created a lot of trauma. All right, why is the Six of Wands here? Three of Pentacles. Public success. Finding people who work with you. Finding the right people who can see you, who celebrate you, who want you to have victory. It looks like you do have a lot of success when you're doing what you want, what you enjoy. It feels like you're very capable, despite the lack of care from your family. It feels like a lot of neglect. And some of the stuff that I'm perceiving here, you might not even recognize as abuse. Maybe because you were told something like, you've got a place to sleep, you've got a roof over your head, you've got food, like the basic needs that are enough. There's just a lack of care that I'm perceiving here. And despite this lack of care, it looks like you have successes. And that you might not work well with your family of origin, but it looks like you work well maybe when you go to school, when you get out of that family environment. It looks like you learn how to cut out who and what doesn't work for you. Boy, the birds just got really... Hey! What's going on? It feels like your family is kind of like a loud, chattering birds, maybe in your ear. I think once you got out into the world and realized that people do like you, people want to work with you, people enjoy who you are. And so there's something about your family and how they perceive you. Oh, all right. So they didn't perceive, your family didn't perceive that you would be successful. They thought they would get away with this. Somehow you were vulnerable because you're a child. And instead, it looks like you have success. People really like you. They're drawn to you. They want to work with you. And so it doesn't compute with how your family treats you. And you having access to people who care, who are listening, who see you, want to work with you. It feels like this family of origin is nervous that you'll speak out. You'll speak the truth, honestly, about how you were treated. They're afraid that you'll use that because that's what they would do. If there were a turn of power dynamics, then they're afraid that you will, tell them, tell the world, tell people of the deceptions, the lies that were told on your name. Woo! All right, Ace of Cups. This is my card for self-love, for being in flow state. It looks like you're really embodying this. You've learned how to love yourself. Even coming from a family of origin where you were not loved. They might have said this is love, but that's not love. Abandoning you chronically, neglecting, that's not love. But what's wild is you have figured yourself out. You've allowed what you've gone through to shape you into the person you prefer to be. And it looks like you've learned how to love yourself despite coming from a very unlovable, unloving environment. Despite being told that you're unlovable, that something's inherently wrong with you, that you're too much, you're not enough. Your love and you loving yourself is creating insecurity within people from your family of origin. Why are they nervous? Why? That you've got out of that comfort zone of an old story of what they've projected onto you, of limitations. And it feels like you're no longer investing in that old story of something wrong with you, something, you being the problem. It feels like you've taken off. I'm not the scapegoat. I was never deserving of that outcome, of that childhood. And I'm going to love and heal and nurture those parts and show myself how much I love myself by what I do going forward. It feels like you're focused on you and loving you. You don't want to spend another minute trying to convince people who have never been able to perceive you. Accurately, that have just burdened you with blame, scapegoat type of behavior. All right, in what's hidden, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Four of Pentacles, and the Sun card. Ace of Wands in reverse is a lack of spark, a lack of creative spark, lack of excitement. Someone's holding on. Why is the Ace of Wands in reverse? And what's hidden? Queen of Pentacles reversed, Chariot reversed, Knight of Swords in reverse, Seven of Pentacles. A lack of stability. Someone isn't stable, isn't secure. They don't know how to train their focus. They can't move on from this. And they rush to conclusions. Very reactive energy, negative reactions. Someone's focusing on you with this instability. This feels like family of origin, someone who can't let go, can't move on. It feels like you've moved on. Once you recognize, it feels like there's a lot of maturity here, but this feels like someone who's stuck to an old story, who feels like they're impotent, though. With Ace of Wands in reverse, it feels like they have no creative power on their own, no spark, and they're holding on dearly to some story. They don't know how to see you differently. This feels like a feminine energy with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And they're focusing this story of negativity on you, viewer. They can't break this pattern. They're stuck on this story that they're projecting onto you. With the Sun in what's hidden, it feels like clarity, happiness is coming through. Feels a little magical, not gonna lie. Little fairy tale. She's got this beautiful blue dress on, and she's lifting her hand up to the sun, to clarity. In the original Sun card, there's a child on the card. And so inner child, clarity, happiness, freedom. The white horse on the Sun card is support. And there's usually some sunflowers as well. And so there's this freedom and abandonment, joy. It feels like you're healing your inner child. Feels like your family of origin also positioned or created some type of trauma bonds where you felt like they created these wounds and they need to heal these wounds, which kept them in control of your woundedness. I think once you realize that the wounds that happened in childhood, once you're an adult, are your responsibility to heal. And if you're waiting for the people who caused the harm to heal you, then they've got power over you. They've got control. When you take control and you care for yourself, show yourself how to be loved, how to love you, Ace of Cups, then it feels like that's the key. Learning to love yourself. Not getting them to change, not getting them to heal. Them being family of origin. It looks like you're healing. And it doesn't look like whatever your family's doing has any effect on you, because you're not needing anything from them. You needing them to heal your wounds, heal the relationship, was keeping you tethered to them, having them have control over your well-being. But when you recognize, okay, this is behavior, it doesn't matter who it's coming from. It doesn't matter if it's family, who they are to you. This type of behavior is not loving. I do not receive it as loving, and cut out to create healthy boundaries for yourself. It's very feminine energy, toxic feminine. Feels like family. It doesn't mean gender, but it feels like there's this toxic feminine energy kind of at the root of it. And it looks like you're ending this. The toxic feminine energy is very envious and jealous of your youth, of your potential. And I think you now see this, and there's something here about forgiveness. Hold on. Forgiveness is very weaponized in this type of environment. And it might have been projected onto you, well, you just need to forgive us. You are bitter and you're holding on to stuff from the past. So there's just a dismissal of what happened and projecting that it's you, the one that was wounded, somehow need to do all the healing and repairing. What I'm seeing here, for what I'm seeing as forgiveness, is detaching from, recognizing that these people are just not your friends, and making different choices for yourself. Not choosing to be around people who can't perceive you, who don't like you, who don't treat you well. That's self-love. Creating healthy boundaries and maintaining your own boundaries. It feels like you can really learn how to love yourself in a very full way, and forgive, as in not carrying around the pain of what was done to you. Forgiveness is very different than repairing a relationship and access. For me, forgiveness is not allowing the harm and the hurt to reside within you and to carry that around, but to heal and resolve your own stuff and create healthy boundaries. And so I'm not seeing repair and access, not in these energies, not with people who are unwilling to take any accountability. It feels like it would be a waste of time. All right. All right. Just checking if in the outcome and advice we have the Two of Cups and the Princess of Pentacles, Princess of Coins. The Two of Cups here feels like you and your higher self. Let's see what the cards say. Let's get another deck out for these last. How about the After Tarot? Feels like you're creating or have created a very healthy relationship with your higher self. You're not allowing the people in your environment to control you, how you show up, telling you who you are, what you're allowed to do. It feels like you've stopped relating so much this way, needing validation, needing love, needing care, just begging for that from your family members and getting scraps. It feels like instead you are connecting more vertically instead of horizontally, tuning in with your higher self, which creates self-love, loving yourself, caring for yourself, and making choices from that state of being, of self-love. It feels like there's a new version of you that you're bringing into this reality. Beautiful. I love that. All right. Moon reversed. Things that were hidden, the delusions, the illusions are coming to light. What was hidden is coming to light. I don't feel like you're... Let me see what else came out. It doesn't feel like you're necessarily like going public and telling this. It feels like it's coming out. They might be telling on themselves. Family members who are afraid, who are nervous about you being in this clarity, having healed, loving yourself. Doesn't feel like that was part of the plan. And they can't control you if they don't have access to you. They can't control how you see yourself, your perceptions. It looks like you're making a lot of people very nervous. All right, we've got the Hermit reversed, 7 of Pentacles, Hanged Man, and 7 of Cups. Okay, we've got some repeats here. It looks like you've been through a dark night of the soul. You've had to journey by yourself and you've learned a lot. It feels like with the Hermit reverse that you've already come to some type of enlightenment, some type of understanding. I love that the black dog is here. Your shadow. It feels like you're very comfortable with your shadow, which makes you very powerful. That's okay, and I can feel the nervousness from the family of origin because you don't need them. With the Hermit card, you've figured out how to find your own enlightenment, not relying on the stories that they tell, not believing their truths. Your willingness to go at it alone has enlightened your path. And with the Hermit reverse, it feels like it's a message to come out of isolation, to share your story, to share what you've learned with the rest of us. It feels like you've got really wonderful insights, things that you understand. Looks like wow, this feels like a harvest. The 7 of Pentacles, what you're focusing on, it feels like you've pulled your focus from the confusion from your family of origin, from the woundedness, from the traumas from childhood. And you're focusing on this new version of you, and you're aligning your energy very differently, connecting with your higher self. And it feels like a very, very different version of you. Very capable. Okay. There's something else that you're ready to see, a new perspective. It feels like whatever this new perspective is, it's such a little shift. And it helps you see things like, with ease. There's something about ease with this perspective shift. Getting out of the day to day. You might be, your daily routine might be interrupted, but it feels like it's being interrupted so you can see something, understand something. I keep getting, like a light bulb going off. And it allows you to see that you have a lot more options, a lot more opportunities that were somehow you were blinded to. Okay. Oh, so the last message that I'm seeing, 10 of Swords reversed, 4 of Wands reversed, 2 of Pentacles, is talking about, these cards are talking about how growing up in a family like this, family of origin with these type of traumas, set you up for painful romantic relationships that kind of repeated your family of origin story of being treated less than. Feels like more and more unhappiness. But it looks like you're seeing this, and you're seeing how people have juggled you, played you, manipulated you, manipulated the truth. Not anymore. So, all right, that's your reading. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day.